All right. What do they call it? Stupidity and my champion. Holy shit. So, good morning. As I said, today I'm talking about preemptive nerfs. So this season cycle was really volatile. Um, the combination of corrupting potion, keystones, and item changes threw everything into flux. Far worse than like any other season, in my humble opinion. Um, and most of it was for the bad, to be completely and totally honest. But it's very workable at the end of the day. So, Riot does what they need to fix it. And let me change over. Which screen is it showing? Okay, it's showing screen 2. Sweet. So let me move this over real quick. And let me pull up the patch notes. Tweener patch notes. 5/24. Right. Is this the Swain nerf? Yep, this was the Swain nerf. Yep, here it is. Okay, so let's take a look at this, huh? Alright, so I'm gonna just say decrease my face real quick. I know, fucking tragedy. So we see here, never move, got nerfed, from 2 seconds at rank 1 to 2 seconds at all points. Now, no, I don't want to, talk about Swain as a champion, because that's legitimately not the point until later on. So when Riot nerfs a champion preemptively, and it's very rare, we're talking Anivia here, and Malzahar as well, which, by the way, nobody is talking about, of course. Of course, why would anyone be talking about this? And Karthus saw another nerf. All these champions were free low, essentially. Dr. Mundo, this was a buff, right? Okay, no, this was a nerf as well. So we saw a nerf to a couple champions. Brand, W mana cost went up. Anivia's Glacial Storm mana cost went up. Karthus is slow, got cut. Malzahar's W got cut. And so basically, what these nerfs pretty much targeted were champions that have massive area of effect abilities that become highly relevant come team fighting, come even in the laning phase. Just starting off with the corrupting potion and having the tick damage on Karthus and Malzahar and Swain, which is just like a bit too much. And then you add in a never move, and it's just like it's pretty oppressive if you don't have a gap closer. So that's why they made the nerf, right? So okay, whatever. Let's nerf Swain W, and then let's nerf that Fire Grasp. That's Fire Touch, right? Okay, that's fine. But that Fire Touch is a bit too strong. Okay, we're gonna tone it down a bit. Okay, that doesn't really solve anything. And so this is where the whole argument begins, that you shouldn't be nerfing champions that are strong because of new changes. I legitimately do not understand the reason these people don't want the nerfs. Like, let's go ahead and look at the Predator. So if you haven't figured it out yet, pretty much just like I'm destroying with these rants. I'm destroying every Reddit analyst's threat opinion with these vlogs, right? So okay, blah blah blah. Here it was. Yep. Completely true. Between Corrupting Fortune and Deathfire Touch, if you hit a Q on like an enemy champion, there's like no counterplay, there's no interaction. So what do you do in that situation? Well, you nerf is like hard CC, so like there's like at least a chance for the enemy to survive. Fair. Right? So okay, no one's buying Corrupting Potion on Swain. Friend, if you had watched IEM, you would have seen everyone buying Corrupting Potion, even the champion that would have liked the HP, because it just provides more stats. So you actually have no idea what you're talking about. Number 2, Deathfire Touch was already nerfed. Blah blah blah. You know, nerfing 2 things at the same time. Well, you know, maybe it was a bit too strong to be ranked 2 at level 1. Maybe there's very low counterplay. Maybe it makes too many first bloods. You don't have the data. Just because you're some you're some Swain main doesn't mean you have all the data in the world. You need to like calm down and realize that like they don't make these nerfs happen for a reason. So you know, Deathfire Touch is already nerfed. That doesn't matter. Like they're planning on buffing Deathfire Touch anyway. So basically, you're saying, well, Riot should buff my champion, but if they want to buff the mastery for everyone else, I just want my champion to be OP. That's basically what you're saying, right? Because because in this guy's dream world, he simply gets he gets his nerf reverted, and he gets the buff from Deathfire Touch. Seems legitimate, right? That makes complete and total sense. And pointing to the win rate when you're an extremely dedicated player champion is confusing as hell. For the sake of argument, there's going to list a chance to have a 50% higher win rate when you played more than 125 games to them. But the list would be huge. Swim is hardly an isolated case. How his win rate abysmally bad unless you played 125 games with him, meaning you have to be a master of your craft to perfectly not be a complete detriment statistically speaking. So what happens if a bunch of challenger players start playing Swain? What happens to his win rate then? Just because the majority of the community is playing a champion is not playing the champion yet, and his win rate proceeds to skyrocket. This argument is so flawed. Like, what happens if high level players start playing Swain and catch on immediately? You know, you're some Diamond 4 garbage, and you know this is coming from Diamond 5 garbage. Don't get me wrong. Anyone like legitimately, if you see like people in the higher elos playing Swain and realizing, oh hey, Corrupting Potion plus E is broken. Corrupting Potion plus E and W is broken. Oh boy, let's keep playing this. Oh, suddenly it's on stream. Suddenly the play rate goes high. It doesn't matter. It simply does not matter if you suddenly need like 125 games to play on him. The fact is, anyone in high elo was not playing him yet. Did not catch onto this yet. And it would be very easy for them to adapt. And then all of a sudden everyone else gets to adapt. Rather quickly too. So this whole, you know, win rate, play rate, you know, 125 game bullshit, it doesn't matter, because if you revert the nerf, it becomes 20 times easier to play the champion. Therefore, his win rate will continue to go up, as well as his play rate. Then, so when Riot does this, it's to prevent things like that from happening, to stop the OP from happening immediately. And this argument is just so fucking bad. Okay, you're not buying Corrupting Potion. No one cares what you're buying. You're garbage. You know, the correct thing is to buy Corrupting Potion at level 1. For everyone. Every solo laner should be buying Corrupting Potion at this point. Maybe the cases like Manalus, Yasuo, Riven, Renekton, obviously they shouldn't be buying it. But my point here is, you know, just because you're not buying it doesn't mean, you know, doesn't mean it's not correct to buy it. And so you see this all the time. You see this, my champion, my champion, my champion. You didn't deserve to nerf my champion. This is bullshit. Blah, 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 blah. The fact is, they have more data than you will ever have. And unless you're some master god, of the champion, or like even in competitive play in general, or any like even if you're like, unless you're like number one in solo queue, your opinion in comparison to Riot is so irrelevant. Okay, sometimes you're right. Like congratulations, sometimes you're right, and Riot fixes it immediately. But it's better to do these things and catch on to it immediately than not happen at all. And that's like people like to complain about power creep, but that's how power creep happens, where you just let things exist and it just becomes completely unfun. Um, I'm not saying that Riot's buff and nerf policies are completely and totally like perfect or anything. Of course not. God no. Like just take a look at this champion, like this champion right here, Skarner. God knows how many times he's been through the cycles and Misfortune, another good example. I think they finally got it right this time. So there are, I'm not saying that like Riot's perfect or anything. No, that's completely and totally retarded. But when you complain about these things, at least have a solid argument for it, right? Like you've got to be kidding me here. No one buys corrupting potion. No, they're supposed to buy corrupting potion, buddy. Death by Grass was already nerfed. Well, if they ever want to buff the actual keystone, they can't give you your buff back. And then number 3, blah 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 win rate. Well, it's because the good players haven't caught on to this yet. And Riot caught onto it before the good players caught onto it, and from there, it would have snowballed into an uncontrollable flock of crows from there. But it didn't, because they caught it early. But hey, a whole 4% win rate is less because for people that have 125 games, blah 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 blah. Well, congratulations. You're probably doing something wrong. I could probably find out what you're doing wrong exactly. But of course, you're not going to buy Corrupting Potion because you want to prove a point that Jordan Dream is a better start or something really stupid like that. At this point, at no point is a win rate of starting above. Look, this is like this argument. Like these arguments just give me aneurysms because you have no idea what you're talking about, and you're getting upvoted to infinity and beyond because you think you have this idea of a champion when the fact is you have little to no adaptation, and you're pretty much just asking like you're just making yourself look like a fool when you there's literally zero adaptation to what happened this season, and he was just playing Wayne the same stupid way he played him for like 2 seasons or whatever the champion wasn't touched for, and now he's getting mad that my champion is getting destroyed. All right, this one's a short one today. It's only like 13 minutes or so, but it's really easy to dissect something like this. It's like so ridiculously easy. So not as quality as my rants usually are, but so be it. I will be back in about 5 minutes, and we'll be playing some solo queue.